Hello and welcome to the Rhythm Factory. I'm Eddie C, and together with my co-host Peter D, we're going to bring you in touch with people in and around the music business. This is the podcast that takes you up close and personal. Hi everyone, and welcome once again to the Rhythm Factory podcast. My name is Eddie C, and to my right, my dear friend and colleague, Mr. Peter D. Today, I'm very, very happy to have a special guest who happens to actually be one of my students. And once in a while, you get these students that are very talented. Most of my students are talented, but this one has been working with her now for some years, and she recently has been to America last year to do a competition, which she'll tell you more about in a minute. But I'll first introduce you, Miss Danique Kos, and percussionist and future professional artist, depending on how things go. Welcome to our show, Danique.
Thank you.
I want to, you went to this WCOPA
yes,
award,
exactly.
award contest in Hollywood, and you did quite well, which I'm very proud.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you worked very hard for it. I know we spent a lot of time.
Getting
you prepared and everything for it. But you want to tell our audience exactly what it is and what you did. And
well, actually, the festival is called the World Championships of Performing Arts, and it is actually just the Olympic Games for performing arts. You know, artists go there. They're dancers, singers, instrumentalists, models, and all these kind of artists who competing against each other. In total, there are like 52 countries who are competing against each other, and I represented the Holland. And so,
as the first Dutch participant for this contest that made it this far, right?
Yeah. Well, I made it to the finals, so that was so awesome because the finals, that is a live final which is sent out live on TV and that stuff. And actually, the World Championships are founded by Griff O'Neill, who is also the founder of Miss University. So that's so great. And he already did that festival for like 17 years. I joined the 17th annual World Championships. And so, the great thing about also these World Championships is you stay in this hotel. And the hotel is the Westin Bonaventure in Los Angeles. And this is the place where everything happens. You sleep there, you eat there, but you also compete there. And so all the contestants are in the same hotel, and also the judges, so they're around you all the time. You have to be nice to everyone all the time, because before even if you are in the toilet or something like that, they could be next to you, so you have to be nice and quiet about everything, and all the time. And so, but this is the great thing, you got to meet all these people. They're also giving you boot camps during the 2 weeks, because the festival takes 2 weeks. They're giving you boot camps, they're giving you support, but they're also judge you. And while they're judging, they can also give you out like a go-see, which is just like a little it's yellow. Yellow paper, which gets pinned on a board at the end of the first week, and then you can go see them like in a special time, which is made for that. And so what I did there, I did 3 different instrumental acts, and also 1 stand-up comedy act. And with one of the instrumental acts, I made it to the finals, which is so awesome because I was the only one, the first Dutch person ever who made that to that finals. And the finals, were crazy. We had just 1.5 day to go. It was rehearsing. How do you need to walk? How do you need to stay? When are the cameras on? It had to be perfect. It's live.
Right. So it's more than just about playing. It's the whole package.
Exactly. But that was also one of the nice things. You got to. You needed to have the whole package to come that far. It is not only your play. The way you walk on stage, the way you dress, the way you talk to people, and everything counts.
You constantly have to be on your guard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The only time I got to do like crazy, that was in my room. So sometimes I would like turn on the music very loud and go crazy dancing, and that's because that was the only place where I could do that.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to show this just for a little while. It's a book, the World Stars. It's about the festival you played on.
And this
is your picture in the book.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you also won prizes, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, actually, one of the prizes are right here. So this is the medal you got when you got to the finals. This is just the gold one. And in the categories I competed, I also got the medal. So I got 2 bronze and 1 silver. And my silver act was for my act that I did play along on a song. So it was Hey Ya, and also a DJ mix, what was just on, and then I played along with it and showed like, you know, I can do technical skills and all kind of solos and that stuff. And I also won a scholarship.
wow.
In New York Conservatory of Dramatic Arts, which is so cool. I'm gonna do that this summer in 2015.
Right.
Gonna go to New York, 5 weeks. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be very intensive. Besides lessons, you also got business meetings. You have to do auditions. You have to, you know, connect and work together with all kind of managers. And we stay in the campus, which is also, you know, middle of New York, staying in the campus, 70 years old by then, you know, and yeah.
That's quite an experience.
Yeah, it is.
And quite an achievement.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, that's something you can be very proud of, and I know Eddie is proud of you. But it's yeah, absolutely. But you know, it's something you can be very proud of. And you know, I was looking through your website, and there are some lovely quotes on your website. It changes when you switch the pages. And,
I know.
you know, and it's all about music, and it, you know, it shows you have your history together, and of course, you know, Eddie taught you a lot about.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's some quotes from you on the side too. But you mentioned like, one quote on your website. You say, "There's not a day that goes by without music for you," and playing the percussion is really making you happy, and you like to make other people happy with your music and your playing. Can you tell us a bit more about it? How do
Okay.
you see that?
Yeah, well, Eddie also always says, bake the cake. I'm not baking every day a cake, but, you know, we're, okay, so, yeah, all these things, everyone, sometimes people come to you and they say, like, Danique, how can you do that? I don't even have rhythm feeling, you know? And I'm like, everyone can play rhythm. And everyone has a kind of rhythm, you know, everyone knows this story, you know, when you are in the stomach of your mom, you hear her heartbeat, and this is the first beat you will ever hear in your life. But everyone also has, like, a kind of rhythm in their lives, I think. You know, there's a way you wake up, and then maybe your routine is when you wake up, you directly go to the toilet, or you directly wash your hands or something like that. This is a rhythm you have in your life, you know. And also maybe on every Monday you go to the gym, or, you know, do any kind of sports. And everything is rhythm. And I think that is something for me where it kind of started. It started for me with treble. I was 8 years old, and I was totally crazy about this girl group called Treble. These were 3 girls, and they were singing, and at the same time
Playing the djembe.
playing the djembe,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And you know, I've been playing the djembe for around, forever right now, since my 8, but very intensive for 4 years, and I also did groups with that. I had like a local group of all people of my age who we did little tours, we did little performances, and I also did a workshop once by Alina Diaroos,
Yeah.
which is just a very good Senegalese player, and he taught me a lot at the conservatory at The Hague. He asked me, I was like, Danique, you're very good, and I was like 10, I guess. I was like, Danique, you're very good, but I can make you better. And I give lessons at the conservatory, so if you want to, you can come 2 times, 1 time every 2 weeks, and I can give you lessons. So, and that's also what I did that for 3.5 years, I guess. And then I started, looking for more, because I only was doing the African stuff. And then I was like, because I already bought congas, and I already had my bongos, but I didn't know what to do with it, you know? so I was looking around, and I came at the address of Eddie, and I called Eddie once, and I was like, hey, you know, you're a percussionist, and you also play congas, and I also like to play congas. Can you come around sometimes? And he came around, and he was like, what do you want to do? What do you want from me? You know, I was like, maybe you could give me a lesson, or teach me the things. So that is the moment where it started building up and that stuff. And, you know, since the moment I began, I always had passion for music, and, you know, this passion is still there. And I think if you keep that, and, you know, you will work for your goals. when you have for sure, if you set a goal for yourself, I think that's is also very important. Set a goal for yourself. By this time, I want to be able to do this, or I want to stand on this stage, or I want to, performing with this and this person. That will keep you growing. And no day goes by without music for me. Yeah, I'm still passionate. I make music every single day. I practice every single day, to get better, to improve myself, to also keep the basics and make sure I just got them in the fingers. And so that about, and sometimes, a quote can also inspire you very much. I think
absolutely.
So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, you're now 16 and almost 17.
Almost 17, yeah.
But, I know how it is. We've spoken about that quite often. Huh? Mm-hmm. Being a musician, especially nowadays, things have changed tremendously since the days when I was a session musician and playing. Of course, we spoke about that in an earlier podcast with another colleague of ours. How everything has gone now to how it looks, and the looks seem to be just in some places more important than the way things sound. Mm-hmm. Of course, I've always tried to teach you from looks are important as well, but most important is the heart and the playing. Mm-hmm. But let's say I know your ambitions are to be one of the best musician you can possibly be. Mm-hmm. as time goes, and you work hard for it. I can vouch for that, and once in a while you're still a teenager, so sometimes I have to get on your case, but outside of that, let's say for example you decide to become a professional musician, and that doesn't work out the way you want, and like I said, you're still young, so do you have a backup plan?
If I have a backup plan, well, next year I already got invited, so that is very exciting. I really just want to go to the Conservatory of Rotterdam. Mm-hmm. There, the world music part is very big there. The top of Holland teaches there. It's just great. But I do have a backup plan. That is a hotel management study. Okay. But I always will be making music. And I know there's something, there are a lot of musicians out there who are so good and so professional, but do not have the paper, or what you get when you finish your study, and
like yours truly.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you go to the conservatory, you'll be able to make music every day. To be around music, to study music, and when you do another, because that is something I realized very much. That when I would do the hotel study, I wouldn't be able to make that much music as I would when I go to the conservatory. Right. So that's my backup plan. But I always be making music, and always. Will be performing and that stuff, and just doing the things I love. And I think actually the combination of management and restaurant and hotel and entertainment and music fits. It definitely does.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, musicals also play in cafes and restaurants.
Absolutely.
And it's so.
Well, it's a good combination, and I think it's going to not only help empower you. As far as the business side, it's going to also make you a little bit more aware of what happens on the other side of the stage.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
Behind the stage, the scenes. So it's a very good choice that you're doing,
Yeah. And also, you're learning business, which is, I know some percussionists who did actually a hotel management study that was on a lower level, but so when you do a lower level, you most of the time it's logic that you have more time left.
Right.
But in that study you learn management, you learn business, and you can just toepassen.
You can
utilize. You can use that with your music. So. Mm-hmm. It's all about the following, and
Well, yeah, and once again, it's very important, especially you being in you're just coming through that door, as we would say, slowly becoming a young adult, is in the process. Enjoy enjoy those youthful years while you can, because it's gonna. I tell you, when you get older, you look back and don't. You always say, well, if I would have been able to do this or that, and I'm sure a lot of artists have that. Well, I should have maybe did this, because then I would have been able to do that. And so, take your steps, enjoy, and make each step that you take, make it worthwhile. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great to say or know for yourself, like, I will always be making music, because it's a passion. You really have a love for it. I mean, I can tell by the way you talk about it, and I know stories from Eddie, of course. I mean, and you will always be making music. You will always be either way recording, or maybe live on stage, and you already have a pretty some experience.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, because you're participating in a girls band with friends your age.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Recorded the record.
Uh-huh.
Tell us a bit more about that band, and,
Okay.
and how did you experience recording that?
Okay, well, this is not the only band I have. I actually have 6 different bands I play in, which are just my standard bands. The Corvados. It's very. I'll tell a funny story about that later. But and also the Blue Basement Big Band. It's a very big band, just jazz band. I play congas in a jazz band, but it's so good. It fits. The Maybellines, which is the girls band. Ludwig, that's a quartet.
Quartet.
Yeah. Well, I do have my own band with Danique Kos and all kind of people around. What you're doing? Yeah, what is wanted. And also the Journey Galaxy Disco Band, which is just a disco band, and it's discoing all the time. And I get asked as a guest artist a lot also, that's crazy. But the girls band, I think the most awesome thing about that is this is the only band I have or I have ever done with only girls. Mm-hmm. There's always a boy around. Just drummers, there's always boys. And this is I'm here in this band, I'm like drummer / percussionist, and we also have a bassist, and we have backing girls who does backings, and she does also play piano, and so we have the lead, Maaike Adegeest, who is playing guitar and singing and also writing the songs. And actually all the 3 girls are studying at Conard, which is the conservatory in Rotterdam. And that is very nice. And so we're rehearsing there. I go there weekly. And that was actually also the first question when Maaike asked me to join the band. She was like, Danique, but we are rehearsing in Conard, Rotterdam. And will you be able, or do you want to go there every week? Is that possible for you? Can you make that? I was like, yeah, I want to go there. I want to study there next year, and this is the place to be for me. There it's so awesome still to go there every week. You always get surrounded by percussionists and other people who study there. When you go to that school, it's not like high school where you go now. Everyone is making music there. It's so cool. Also in the canteen. But we're using every week, and. When the girl band kind of started, that was in the period when Christmas was coming. And Maaike already wrote a Christmas song, and we did that a lot. Maaike and I are also a duo together. So I already knew that song. That song is called Let's Go on a Date This Christmas. And she was like, no, but now I want to make this song a full song, and I want to do this with the band. So we started, putting ideas on the table and writing the song over, putting all these instruments in there, and we recorded it. But actually it was very fun because the man who recorded it is Jasper Verburg. Yeah, he was our sound technician actually, at a performance of me and Maaike at Jazz Amersfoort, and he was like, girls, this is so good. If you want to record anything, just call me. Give me a call, and we will make a demo or anything you want to. And so we were like, hey, we have this girls band, and we want to record a single, all right? And so we did, and it was very cool. We took 2 days to record the whole single. I took all my percussion instruments and just put all these little flavors in there, and also Eddie came around, which was so cool. He was like, yeah, Danique, but this is studio work. This is not stage work. So you need to do this and this and this. Like this little sound, you need to add to it, you know. And but that was very cool. Thank you so much again for all that help. And we did record a video clip in it in Velvet Music actually, which is just a store of platen.
CD store.
Records, exactly, record store. So these really old records you can buy there. So we got like this really vintage,
Vintage look.
feeling, look also, which is something we definitely want to go for, you know, the vintage look. Also, we have plans with this band to just take this Volkswagen bus and go to the France, to the coast there, and have a tour and just, you know, go to restaurants and say, hey, like we're a band and we're gonna play here tonight, you know?
Which is great to hear because it's like going back in time. Like we said, we spoke once in an earlier podcast with one of our colleagues, and we were talking about the days when you went in a small bus and you traveled and you played at all the little cafes and stuff. So I'm very glad to hear that. You know, that's happening again, you know, and so it's a great experience. It's only going to make you richer as a person, but also as a musician as well, and from inside, you know, and it's going to affect how you make your music, how you play your music.
Yeah, exactly. But also, you know, you're together with each other we're going to go for 8 days then, and you're around each other all the time. You get to know each other better, but also you're going to make, a lot of new music.
Good.
Of course.
That's great. Before we close our interview off with you, we always ask our artists if they've experienced an awkward or funny situation.
Okay.
And I mean, you're 16 years young, but I'm sure you've had some funny situations in your very short young career. But you've done quite a lot, I know, and so maybe you can tell us a little story or something.
Well, what I just told you, all right, the Corvados. This is a band who exists already for 30 years, I guess.
And what kind of music are they making?
They're making music 60s, 70s, 50s, the old music, the Let's Dance and all this stuff, and
Classics.
you know, they asked, the classics, exactly, and they asked me to be their guest percussionist once. And it was so funny because, you know, I didn't knew the bandmates at all, and I came there, and the band is they're awesome musicians, but they're all 50-50 plus, you know, 55 plus.
Hey,
and I'm playing here.
55 plus thing now. Go on. I'm teasing you.
And I'm here as a 16-year-old girl, you know, playing in between all these old musicians, and they're all saying on stage that she's lowering the age, you know, she's putting the whole age down of the band and that stuff, and it's so, you know, the great thing to see is also after the performance, you know, the musicians came up to me, they were like, Peter, for example, he's the drummer, and he says like, Danique, when you play in this band, you give us so much energy, you know, this you know, a young person, you know, and she has like new ideas about music and that stuff, a new way to fill in the music, and it's so good. It gives us so much more energy, and it's so funny, you know. It's also when you see that picture, we have like this little picture was always shown when we perform, you know, in a program paper, and you see like this gray hair everywhere, and then this little young girl.
Okay.
I also want to say one awesome thing. What I am representing the Wistrum, which is also very cool. I forgot to tell about the World Championships of Performing Arts because of that I was asked to do a production in Holland Opera, which is an awesome production company. They do very professional opera production together with dramatic art with acting, and so they also have live music, and I got asked to do the live music, and so there was like a review in the Volkskrant with my name on it, and that that the maker of the whist drum saw, and he contacted me, and he was like, Danique, we have this new instrument. It's called the whist drum, and it's like a drum kit. Only you only use your hands, and it's just on sticks and that stuff. And he was like, Danique, come along, just come by one time and check it out. It's very cool. And so I did, and I'm right now representing it, and I also got the opportunity to go to the music messe in Frankfurt last year to demonstrate the instrument, which was so awesome because this is like such a big mess, and I always wanted to go there. And the first time I go there, I actually got to perform them, because that was so great. I performed there all day long.
Well, listen, we know we could talk, and we could fill actually 3 podcasts with you. But everything has there's a time to begin and a time to finish. Unfortunately we have to cut our conversation a little bit short now, but we want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you too.
And I'm as a teacher, I'm very proud of you. And also as a friend to you and your family, also very proud. And I know your parents are really very proud.
Oh, I'm so thankful to them.
They do a lot for you, and that's great. Once again, if you want to find out anything else about Danique, you can come to our page on Facebook, and you'll see all the information about how you can get in contact with Danique. Also, you can write us an email on the Rhythm Factory Podcast at gmail.com. Once again, we want to thank our crew, our camera guys. Sometimes I always forget to thank you guys, but Heis and Frank, and we've got Ramona that takes the pictures for us, and Charles that does a lot of promotion for us for the Facebook page and everything. I want to thank our guests again, Danique.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
My co-host, Mr. Peter D.
Thank you.
My name was Eddie C, and we want to leave you with these last words. The youth are definitely our future. Also for the music. Thank you, and see you next time on the Rhythm Factory Podcast.